The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Pt.3, has once again apologized to Nigerians for the lingering fuel scarcity, saying all is being done to return things to normal. Dr. Pt.3, alongside 5 other ministers, rendered account of what's being done in terms of the government policies since the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The ministers spoke during the second federal government town hall meeting in Kaduna, the Kaduna state capital.
I want to use the opportunity to thank all those that honored our invitation.
The governor of Kaduna State in northwestern Nigeria, welcoming ministers, traditional rulers, religious leaders, government officials and the people of the state to the second federal government town hall meeting. On hand to render their stewardship are the ministers of communication, interior, solid minerals, information, Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, and Petroleum.
Let me start by first apologizing for the difficulties you have in terms of getting your fuel. In these few months, I have tried to address the problems. For the first time, the 3 refineries in Nigeria are back working together. Even though not at the capacity I love to see them, a lot more work still needs to be done to get into the level of performance that I would want. For the first time in 20 years, we took the bold audacity to go ahead and try and restructure NNPC. Because unless we did that, the issues of transparency, the issues of staff morale, the issues of directional policies were never going to happen. And we've successfully done that, and that took massive amounts of work. But we still have to deal with the behemoth, which is the fuel issue.
We also have put in place several measures to ensure cost efficiency in management of all classes of revenue. The single treasury account is one of these classes of expenditure. We also have a new efficiency unit that scrutinizes government expenditure to make sure that there are no wastages.
With more focus on the diversification of the economy, the Minister of Solid Minerals calls for a change in the notion that Nigeria is not a mining destination.
Mining remains one of the highest job creators in this country. Many may be surprised if I say that. We have no fewer than 5 million Nigerians involved in mining. They're involved in informal mining. They don't have licenses. But we can organize them in a way that would make them much more productive to themselves and to the country.
It was not all talks by the ministers, as the people also got a chance to ask and get answers to their questions, while looking forward to the fulfillment of the various promises made by the government. Yomi Otaiba reporting for Channels Television News.
Nigeria will host the second Regional Security Summit in Abuja as part of efforts by the federal government to ensure the security of lives and property. The Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, said the summit will attract leaders from across the globe, including French President François Hollande, who hosted the first Regional Security Summit in Paris on May the 17th, 2014. President Muhammadu Buhari and the French President, who is scheduled to arrive in Abuja on Friday, will be joined at the summit by the presidents of Cameroon, Niger Republic, Chad and Benin Republic. The United States, Britain, Equatorial Guinea, the European Union, ECOWAS, the Economic Community of Central African States and the Gulf of Guinea Commission will also be represented at the summit. Agreements on further defense and cultural cooperation between Nigeria and France are expected to be concluded between the 2 presidents. Let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Waudu.
A beautiful evening to you. The Debt Management Office has given the assurance that funds to be borrowed for the 2016 budget will be used to fund key capital projects. The DMO Director General, Mr. Abraham Nwankwo, made this comment while justifying the reason for the 30% capital expenditure in the government's medium-term expenditure framework. Entrepreneurship is the only way out of the menace of youth joblessness in Nigeria. This was the main theme at the Ife Youth Economic Summit held in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The speakers all agreed that capacity building, identifying the needs of the people and the environment, as well as capital, are major factors needed to succeed in business.
Ceremony of a business summit organized by the Bank of Industry in Ife, Osun State, Southwest Nigeria. In attendance are youth, officials of BOI, and others. The aim of the summit is to empower prospective youth entrepreneurs on how to succeed in business.
Over the years, many people make the mistake. They think that capital should come before capacity. Really, capacity should come before capital. Because if you don't have the capacity, even if you have money, you will lose the money. And the money you will lose will not only be that of the financial institution, you will also lose your own money. In other words, not any business can succeed in every environment.
The Oni of Ife, His Royal Majesty Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, is quick to admonish the youth to wake up and stop being job seekers, but job creators.
Let us put government aside. What can we do for ourselves, by ourselves, for ourselves, with ourselves, and for the betterment of ourselves? Let us be known for good things so that we can pioneer great and mighty things right now and in the foreseeable future.
The youth are also asked to stop blaming the government for the rise in the level of unemployment, but should assist in tackling the problem.
It is important to note that the solution to unemployment and poverty and the only way we can grow the economy is by developing the micro, the small and medium scale enterprises. There are no other ways. About 84% of the GDP of Nigeria is contributed by this sector. But the more entrepreneurs we have, the more people that are gainfully employed. The way to go to solve our unemployment problem is for each one of us to take a decision today and say, I shall make it. I shall succeed. And when we put into practice the various theoretical things that have been put to us, definitely we shall make it.
As these young men and women leave the hall, the organizers of this summit are expectant that the participants will utilize the knowledge they've gained to become self-sufficient.
Key market indicators closed today's session in the red on the back of profit-taking by investors. For more of these figures, here is Temple Ashaju.
Hello and welcome to Stock Market Reports. Thank you for joining in. Stocks took the southward path on Tuesday, retracting 0.70% from yesterday's rally and leaving the all-share index at 25,646.56, while the total market value eased to 8.82 trillion naira. Over 237 million units of shares were exchanged for 1.36 billion naira in 3,885 deals. With a positive market breadth, however, 32 gainers outweighed 18 decliners. Tiger Brands led the list with 9.81% appreciations, as Diamond Bank and Flour Mills ended 9.52% and 6.79% each. University Press, Portland Paints and Axam Mansard were the key decliners of today's session. And trades in FBN Holdings, Zenith Bank and Transcorp ranked the shares the topmost traded stocks for the day. And that does the stock market report for today. I'm Temple Ashaju.
Now, US, European and Asian stock markets ended today's trading very positive, while African markets closed in mixed sentiments. Let's see the figures. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawado. The rest of the news at 10 continues now.
As part of efforts to alleviate the suffering at the camps of internally displaced persons in Borno State, business mogul and philanthropist Aliko Dangote has donated 2 billion naira as aid. Alhaji Dangote, who visited two of the largest IDPs in the state, also promised to conduct periodic checks on their welfare. He also called on other Nigerians to come to the rescue of the IDPs and assist the government in rebuilding the northeast.
It's a mission to alleviate the sufferings of the internally displaced persons in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, where about 2 million people have been rendered homeless owing to Boko Haram insurgency. Nigeria's business mogul and his team make a move through the Dangote Foundation. On arrival, he's received by the governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, and his aides. The first port of call is a Dalori camp, where there's an urgent demand to meet the basic survival needs of the IDPs, especially food.
We stand with our beats and prayers in the insurgency out of the country.
We will start with something like 2 billion naira, which, inshallah, we want to move directly into action between our foundation and you. And immediately that we, get back to Lagos, our foundation managing director will come and sit down with you and see what are the needs.
This is the Bakassi camp. The needs here are the same as Dalori, but the children crave for exposure.
I went to life school. I went to like education.
After visiting the palace of the Shehu of Borno and the State House, Dangote concludes that contributions from other well-meaning Nigerians will go a long way in saving the Northeast. His words are supported by Governor Shettima.
It's really disheartening to see all young kids, not attending school, all inside IDP camps. Dangote Foundation promised during the Ramadan time, this hot period, we will take care of all the, rice that they will eat.
We'll ensure that there's transparency in the disbursement, in the utilization of the 2 billion support. In fact, I do not want the cash, or rather partner with the foundation.
Back on board to return to Lagos, the business mogul and philanthropist engages his team in strategic discussions for more aid to the Northeast.